Loved 3 times, but no one deserved your strength. I've sat in dark rooms and contemplated suicide because I was shattered. I've forgotten your significance to my survival. I took advantage of your vitality and resilience. I never understood your role in self-preservation. I apologize for letting you get abandoned, stabbed, lied to, and broken. I know you're tired of my apologies and hearing my cry. I made mistakes a lot due to lack of direction. I've walked blindly into situations hoping to see clearly. I've walked crooked paths in hopes of becoming straight. I feel you beating, but ever so slowly. You don't get excited at the words I love you anymore. Butterflies no longer swarm in the presence of beauty and hope. I can feel the cracks in your foundation because every tear is evidence of the damage. Disappointment after disappointment, you've been led astray. The once agile heart is fragile and hollow. I apologize for echoing pain into your memory. I am so sorry for my lack of strength to leave when love was no longer the option on the table. My poor little heart, give me another chance to repair you. I promise to work on loving me so wholeheartedly that no one could ever love me more. I promise to keep life circulating throughout your chambers. Forgive me for my false accusations that you no longer love me in return. Forgive me for wishing you death upon you. Forgive me for allowing someone else's brokenness define how I treated you. Poor heart, I know you're exhausted, but I'm asking you to give me another chance. Believe in me once more. Believe that I am capable of leaving you in the correct hands. For this moment on, I will repair you, tuck you away safely with a lock and a key. You will never again suffer for my fairy tale notions and happily ever afters. I promise to keep it real with you and trust you to protect me. I will let you guide me and tell me when it's safe and give me in increments. I apologize for not sheltering you enough with love. I'm sorry for this broken body in which you dwell. My poor little heart, all I have is you, and you are hope. Without you, I am broken and I'm empty vessel. I give you my word. Put your trust in me and I will give you what you need. I'm sorry for not giving you unconditional love in return after giving me life. Poor little heart, please don't give up on me. So I don't want to talk too much about it. So moving on swiftly, I'm going to give it back to Lumumba to entertain us and get rid of that mood. Yeah. And then we'll figure things out as we move along. So after Lumumba, we're going to start the first set, okay? So I hope you guys are going to enjoy it and have a good time, yeah? Okay.
They say, woman, just tell you, enda usikie vibaya huko. So, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it any better. I am a live artist, and if you don't know me, you could find a few of my pieces on YouTube or wherever else that there are, because they're all over if you're looking. I like doing my music in our native languages, and that's why I have to do an overhaul. So I'm going to, instead of do the first piece I wanted to do, I'll do a Luo song by Musa Juma. It's an old, but it's a love song, so perhaps it could repair your heart. Inaitwa Baby Na. I think you people know it. Baby Na by the late Musa Juma. Baby na wangiyo kikinda mama. Baby na wangiyo kikinda mama. Lando serunda mawia bara kawona ngisuwe yawa baby. Paro se chanda malicho siko aera kuyo lando baby. Lando chenyi mama. Raguel Kambuta, Toto Kisumue. Lando, Chengi Mama. Raguel Kambuta, Toto Kisumue. Jahera, Jahera na china. Nyathiga nyango bero na chain. Nyakane mama nyola pukane no makama. Nyakoma chunye chalo pisoko wa china. Nyakoma dende chalo mbuva ya Mombasa. Ye ichopye songa. Baby, baby na motema. Achino somo maseno chondi. Dalomana somo Kisumu abende. Achino somo St. Paul chondi. Dalomana somo songa wa nyumbani. Jose mirek moloyo. Baby, baby na motema. Kati senyo la dwarengi mana china. Mondi riche nyingangi mana chi. Mondi tekna kuyongi mana chi. Negi semi jaera. Samawe rongi mana amama. Nyaga nyango benio wa china. Nyagi beni hachi nyaki suyo muta. Na matali tone ganyagi beni rapudo. Negi pare songa wod go lech mokalo. John negi pare joji ugo songa mokalo. Siaya kapaba. Sama wero mana mama. Nyaga nyango beni yo china. Nyaki beni hachi nyaki suyo muta. Na matali tone ganyagi beni rapudo. Negi pare seda ugo lech mokalo. Bendi chopye songa nya Kisumu masanga. Mondi mose mamanya ugenya yo siaya. Siaya kababa. Makofi tafadhali. Thank you very much. This is probably a common number. Nimeona ni kama bebina kuna watu wame kimoyomoyo wanasema sasa huyu anafikiria sisi wote tunasikia hiyo maneno. But one thing I keep telling people to understand, perhaps you might hold alternative opinions, is music is a language in its own. Si kila wakati lazima, and perhaps nikiingia TikTok nitapata you're dancing to songs you don't even understand. So it's essential, okay? This is a common number. Funny thing is, it doesn't matter how bad they do us. I think they just still run the world. When your legs don't walk like they used to before, and can't sweep you off of your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes smile from the sky? So darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. Twende kwa makwaya. And baby, my heart will stay for life. Oh, 23. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Energy, maybe it's a part of a plan. Me, I keep on falling. Oh, so baby, take me into your loving arms. Wanaimba tu nikiimba wanze. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love. Right. We found again. Oh. When my plans is gone and the memories fade, and the crowds don't remember my name, when my hands don't play the string the same way, oh, I know you will still love me the same. Cause honey, oh, could never grow. Not bad. And baby ma. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's a part of a plan. Najua ni kama sijui. Into your loving arms, it's me under the light of a thousand stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are. We found love right where we are. Maybe we found love right where we are. Podcast with no name. In case you're struggling with your marketing, I've found your niche.
Oh.
Yes, your niche is not new school. Niche yenu ni ya wale watu wa miondoko ya kitambo, ile ya twisty na kadhalika.
What are you saying?
No, which is a good thing, by the way. Hao wanakuanga hawana shida mingi na maisha. Hawana mbio. They're ready to hawataki mchezo. Okay, this is an on piece called Hello. Sema hello.
Hello.
Like I've told you, they do us bad, but still ni uko tunaenda. You could check it out. My YouTube handle is Eshuchi Lumumba. Na hapa this song, a lot of people think this song has to have a story. I just think I'm also probably a storyteller. It's a relationship gone sour, then ikanipata vibaya, alafu nikapigwa vibaya tena. Unaona? Siku hizi wana revenge bana. Hello, uko voicemail. Na kutafuta mtandao nisikupati. Profile picture WhatsApp ni kama umenizimia. Simu zangu na messages ziendi ni kama nimekula block. Nakubali nilikuvunja moyo. Kaivunja heshima yangu kwako. Yule binti uliyepata chupi zake kwangu mimi. Si mazoea ni kuteleza. Bolingo. Skiza. Simskize.
Let the man
kwani story ni yangu ama ni yenu?
Let the man speak.
Were you there? I am telling my side of the story.
Which includes a piece of cloth.
Exactly. I mean, alafu kwani mtu akiteleza ni kitu ya kublock mwenzako. Kuteleza. Sasa sikizeni, mtafanya hivi all of you are all of a sudden critics and analysts. Fanyeni hivi acheni niimbe nyimbo, mtafanya hiyo critique yenu mbali huko baadaye after I'm done. Okay. Hello, uko voicemail. Na kutafuta mtandao nisikupati. Profile picture WhatsApp ni kama umenizimia. Simu zangu na messages ziendi ni kama nimekula block. Nakubali nilikuvunja moyo. Kaivunja heshima yangu kwako. Yule binti uliyepata chupi zake kwangu mimi. Si mazoea ni kuteleza, bolingo nanga. Halo sikupi pressure, ilo siponsikiza ntapata pressure. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita, sipati usingizi mimi bila wewe kando yangu we. Halo sikupi pressure, ilo siponsikiza ntapata pressure. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita, sipati usingizi mimi bila wewe kando yangu we. Tuko pamoja Atila hapo? Umenidekeza miaka mingi, kunipa penzi na kunienzi mama. Nikakupa love, kanipa joy, nikakupenda ukanijali toto. Tukasafiri, tukafanya mambo, ukanijenga, nikakujenga. Tusitupe hayo yote kisa sababu moja mama. Nasikia wamtafuta mpenzi wako wa kale mama. Usioge, usirudi soko, mimi hapa, mimi soko lako. Nakubali nilikuvunja moyo, kaivunja heshima yangu kwako mama. Bolingo nanga, halo sikupi pressure, ilo siponsikiza ntapata pressure. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita, sipati usingizi mimi bila wewe kando yangu we. Now listen, hata kama mpendi ujumbe, I want to teach you a little bit of this song. I think it's a beautiful song, yeah. Don't you? Sasa nataka mseme pressure. Aha, alafu sema pressure ya pili. Pressure mara ya pili. By the way, excuse. Aya sema waiter. Bas. Sasa mtafanya hivi. So nitasema halo sikupi pressure, ila siponsikiza ntapata pressure. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita. Very good learners. Ile ya kwanza kumbe ilikuwa bakili. Okay, so hello. Sasa sikiza, pressure ya kwanza ni ndefu kwa sababu ni pressure mbaya. Halo sikupi pressure, ila usiponsikiza nitapata pressure. Nani feel? Pressure. Waiter. Okay, let's go. Halo sikupi, ila siponsikiza nitapata. Good. Now let's do it. Halo sikupi, ila siponsikiza nitapata. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita. Sipati usingizi mimi bila wewe kando yangu we. Halo sikupi, ila siponsikiza nitapata. Ama mnipate kwa bana ita. Sipati usingizi mimi bila wewe kando yangu we. Thank you very much. Mmejifunza nini kwa huo muktadha?
Sikuwe na pressure.
No, just skiza. Sasa, okay, listen, keep your emotions out of this, Yeah, we're not testing your emotions ama your positions about issues, Tufanye comprehension kidogo. Umejifunza nini? Mkono tu mmoja, one thing you've learned.
Pressure cook.
Nataka wakikuwa jume ulimi. Yuko kwa pressure? Sasa kama pressure itakuumisha ulimi and it's okay. I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. Na wanaume nawaambianga this is the problem of coming out clean. Never come out clean. Wacha ipotelee huko. Kufa nayo sema nivo. Another lesson, one last one. Yes. Niko na high blood pressure. Clearly. Mwanaume hakuna kitu mazee. Mwanaume na ninyi nimeimbia hii wimbo bana, hamwezi hata jifunza kitu. Eddy, so tuambie hata kitu moja na usikue mcritical bana.
Mbona ulishikwa?
Sasa hapo
unashikwa aje?
That's hiyo ni swali ni swala nyeti Eddy, acha nifikirie, nitapiga counter track for that. Thank you very much Shuchi Lumumba. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
A round of applause for Shuchi Lumumba. And if there's one lesson I've picked from that song is that he's a serial perennial cheater. Come on.
Hadi anashikwa.
Wow.
I think
he outdid himself.
Cheki.
Smart.
Alishikwa na chupi mbili. Unajua kuna baridi, mademu wanavaa mbili. In my experience. Umevaa?
I think the lesson for the men from me, if you have a side chick, recommend she always go commando.
Yes.
To stay safe. Just me.
Ladies, there you have it. Commando going onwards, yeah? Moving forward, I would like to recognize the presence of a few people. One of them is McKenna. Hi, McKenna. Thank you so much for coming. A big round of applause for McKenna for coming. There's also Pauline. Hi, Pauline. She's a very, very big fan of us. She always comes to all our events. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming, Pauline. There's Yunia.
Anakuja kwangu lini?
Asikuje tu show.
Kuna event.
Pauline.
Leo kuna event.
Na mic ni moja.
Uko na event jioni.
Mic ni moja.
Pauline, it's a trap. It's a trap, Pauline. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. There's Yunia. How many men have received flowers their whole lives? By a show of hands. By a show of hands. If you're a man, if you've ever received flowers, please.
Photographer amevaa yake.
Maybe that's a way of Eddy coming out of the closet. It's like Eddy's finally coming out of the closet, yeah?
Jokes.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space, Eddy. It's a safe space. So Yunia went out of her way to buy flowers for our... Please, simama. Simama wakuone. Ringa kidogo. So Yunia, thank you so much for that beautiful gesture. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Or rather, he appreciates it.
I do.
I would also like to recognize the presence of Diana.
Mosoba.
Thank you so much. Both Dianas, Nekesa and the other Dianas. Thank you so much for coming. There's also Anne.
She's seated next to Diana.
She's seated next to Diana's.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also another beautiful Anne here. Thank you so much for coming, Anne.
Yes.
Karibuni sana. There's also Nyambura Nganga. Nyambura Nganga, I met you earlier. I can't see where you're seated. Oh, yes.
There.
Thank you so much for coming, Nyambura. Karibuni sana. Mm-hmm. So moving on forward, I want to let the boys, I don't know whether I should call them boys or men.
Men.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? There we go. So it's boys to men. So they're transitioning to men. Moving forward today, they will be called men. So it's like a...
You've already transitioned.
Like a rite of passage today, yeah? Yeah, so I'll let the boys take it away with the first set and then we'll pick it up from there, yeah?
All right.
All right, I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
Good day, Nairobi. My name is Ndugu Abisai, and this is our live show for season 4 of the podcast with no name. I am usually the one that introduces myself because I'm the most important person in this podcast, clearly. But for the benefit of the live show, I'll let the other 2 boys introduce themselves.
Hi guys, my name is Mbanacho. I'm his boss. I make sure he doesn't sleep hungry in this Nairobi. And he said he's the most important person. It is what we tell him to make him feel good. But we feel like he's starting to believe it. So it's time to tell you the truth. You're not the most important person. We are sorry we lied to you. Karibuni sana.
Hi guys. I'm shy. My name is Eddy Ashoya. I own this podcast. But thank you for coming. Wale wasichana, unajua, what's her name? What's your name? Atieno, I'm sorry. Mko wengi in my head right now. Muna nichanganya. So my mom should see this. She told me, wasichana wanakuzungushanga ndio hao. Wanalipa. They are paying.
Wanalipa kukuzungusha.
Mimi ndio uzungusha, but anyway, that's not the point. So thank you so much for coming, and it's been a journey, but before I get emotional, wacha kijana wa shots aendelee.
Clearly, once again, I am the most important person in this podcast.
Of course.
Right about now, we want to know the songs that we have been listening to actively over the week or over the last 2 weeks. I will start with Brian.
Okay. So the song I've been listening to, because my wife is here. Do you guys want to see her? Yeah. Why is this one
Unajua, ngoja. You know, the thing is, wasichana wengi wameambiwa.
Yeah.
Wameambiwa au ndio wife.
Yeah.
So when he's saying my wife is here, there are like 3 other or 4 people here that are assuming.
She's shy.
So kama umefikiria ni wewe na ati uko peke yako, mko wasei kama watatu. So the right term is wives are here.
I have like,
Skia, you have like 3.
I don't like lying,
Yeah.
So I have like 3 or 4. They're all here. It's about bringing the family together. Supporting the family business, the family unit. So I will introduce them later when the show is going on. But I've been listening to Marry Me by Barnaba.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm practicing for the day I'll propose. So
To one of them.
to one of you. So
Au wengine watafanya nini? The other 3.
I'll propose to them later. Yeah, tutaanza now. You have to have the first one, the second one in that order. Yes.
Eddy.
Thank you for the silence. I've been listening to... Actually, the song came to me in a dream. History ni yangu. Unajua mshalipa. But before I mentioned the song, I've remembered when Atieno was talking about her heartbreak, about the Luo man. Ameenda wapi? Otis. Dole. That's the guy who broke Atieno's heart and back. But anyway, I've been listening to Feiruz Starehe. You know Starehe? You remember that song?
Yeah, I know.
Kwaherini.
Oh.
Hey.
It reminds you of something.
Yeah.
Feiruz, when he sang that song, he really looked like he's going to die.
Like
Yeah.
he was dying.
And if you look at yourself,
Hatusemi kwa ubaya.
Sisi wote ni wafu. Tutakufa.
but then I'm not lying, because yesterday, so he was not in studio yesterday because we're recording Jana. So he called in the morning.
We talked about this.
No, I have to say this.
This was not in the brief.
So he said, I'm not feeling too well. So I'm like, well, I know what's going to kill him, but I have to pretend. Like, shida ni nini? he sends me a picture of him is doing a chemist or something. I'm like, how is this going to tell me what your problem is?
No, alikuwa kwa accident and emergency ya AAR.
Oh, yeah. So I told him, we have a live show tomorrow.
Please don't die.
If you can die, you can die maybe
on Sunday.
Or Saturday night, because people have paid for this show. We're not going to cancel because you are dead. So just make sure you are here. But anyway, as you
Thank
are.
you for keeping me alive. Ndugu.
Yes. Now, when we were planning for this show, somebody suggested that we should gift each other, because the first set is we're going to tell stories about each other, how we met each other.
No, you haven't told us what you are listening to, Kwanza.
That is coming. So, Eddy bought a present for Brian and for myself, and I bought a present for Brian and for Eddy. But Brian being Brian...
I give myself as a gift to you too.
I don't think I want you.
Yeah.
Especially as a gift. For. You don't have what I like.
I am not into... Anyway, the song I've been listening to, a South African song by two gentlemen, Vusinova and Nathi. The song is Noma Kanjale.
Okay.
Yes. I won't expound on it. I want us to go right into the gifting. I will start. When I give people gifts, I am very symbolic about it. I will give these two gentlemen because it's been 2 years of knowing all of them. 2.5 for this one. And then I think 2 years, December 9, it will be 2 years.
Hey, unakumbuka hadi tarehe.
Relax.
I am good with dates.
I know.
I mean,
it was not that deep.
And so I will start. It is a very simple gift. Yes. This is for Eddy. Bro, endelea kuwakunywa. I would have said other things. In January 2020, there's a post I made on Facebook that went ilibebwa through an entire weekend. It was something to do with translation. So I was writing in English, Swahili, and then Kikuyu. And it took a life of its own. And Brian, in responding, he told me on Monday, Ndugu, I love you so much. But if you dare post such a thing again, we will disown you. The gift has nothing to do with whatever he said, but I understand he loves me.
Kiss.
When I thought about this gift, I had Crazy Kena. Crazy Kena on in my mind. There's a post Crazy Kena did. Alikuwa anasema, men that do not have money I am not saying Brian doesn't have money. I am also not implying that he's good at this. But because he told me he loves me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wanyoroshe ndugu yangu.
All right.
Nyorosha wasichana.
Thank you.
Nani chuma?
Eddy.
The heavy. Does anyone here want to feel it? Okay. Later.
Eddy.
Oh, it's my turn to gifts. Anyway, as you can see, I did not come cheap. So when Ndugu met me on December 9th,
he's forgetting to say our first meeting was a bit strange because I was introducing him to my ex.
It's true.
Yes.
Alikuwa nani hook up, but standards.
I am here. I am here to help the less fortunate.
Patia Lumumba. Umemaliza? Okay. So cha nikumbuke vile nilikuwa nimeifikiria kwa akili yangu. So I think at that time a lot was going on in my life when we met. I think you too as well.
Yes.
And I remember wasichana wa Nairobi, wasichana wa Nairobi, mambo. Anyway, sorry. Jokes, guys. But si jokes, but ni jokes. So, wasichana wa Nairobi walikuwa wamenifanyia ile kitu. Manze nilikuwa naitwa Dandora juu vile wanani dump. So when I met Ndugu pia alikuwa anapitia vitu zake, alikuwa naacho, which is normal. And
he's used to it.
Yeah, for him. And for me, that was my first time because mimi unaniacha. Like, hebu kula kwanza. Fikiria about life yako. Atunaenda wapi? Like, who? Which other man, you know? So, anyway, alienda. And she's happy. I know you want me to say that she's not happy, but she looks happy.
She is because...
she's happy. She's happy.
I took over.
Yeah, I keep out because I tell people that all my exes come back for their clothes. They come back to get their clothes. So anyway, for Ndugu, I went to LC Waikiki and I thought, what can I get? A young, handsome man. Yeah, who is growing every day, you know? And tafadhali kama hii kitu inakaa yako Makena hii niacha kwangu. So iko mpaka na pockets. I know he likes pockets. Na laces. This is size A, so for Ndugu.
I don't know. I don't think my girlfriend will fit here.
Yeah.
So for purposes of clarity, babe, ukiona hii kwangu ni Eddy alinipatia. Si mtu mwingine. It's new.
Haijaisha? Because I like my women to striptease. Unajua, put on a show. Si ati kwani umelala na mimi. History ni yangu. Na watu wamelipa 1,000.
Ndio wanapiga kelele.
Sana. Watu wa 1,500 huko nyuma wametulia. Hawa Black Friday. Ndugu, can I get 2 tickets for 2,000? Anyway, so this is so you wear this on top.
Oh, there are more.
It's nice. It's silk. Niliambiwa wasichana wanapenda silk. Yeah.
Ini yangu ama ni brand?
Hiyo ni yako.
It's even...
Bado tunaendelea.
It's your size. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah. Unavaa from top. Unavaa from top. Mimi najua tu kutoa, but anyway.
So, I don't know mtu anavalia from wapi because when they are in my house, I mean, they don't have to wear anything.
Okay. So for Brian, where did you meet? Java.
I can't remember.
You had met
before? It was not that important. No, we had not met before. But I can remember one conversation that we had where he was telling me, these Nairobi girls. For Brian, it's always about girls. Like he never talks about anything else. And that day he was complaining because you remember those Java reinsurance, those ugali pellets, ugali na Piriton.
Yeah.
Na kuku imekauka. So I think that's the first time we were talking like thoroughly when I actually thought, kumbe, there's some brain in there. Because unajua Brian's. By the way, shaiona Brian amezeka. Like a grandfather called Brian.
He's the oldest.
Yeah, so for him. And then, you remember that story, the shorts, the Adidas. Ile short ya Waluya, ile nyona.
Oh, yeah. I know because I saw
ile nyona unafungwa na kamba. So, because of that, hii inaweza kutoshea vizuri sana. Ukimaliza kuoga pia unahanga. Ikauke. Yeah. Yako imeisha because I know this is your tool of operation anyway.
Yeah, you're done. So anyway, when these guys suggested the idea of these buying gifts, I told them I'm not going to give them anything because, let's face it, they already met me. There's nothing I could get them that's better than my presence in their lives. So I told them, you'll have to get used to mtosheke na hiyo. So maybe I don't have gifts for them other than what I've already given them.
Mbona unaangalia Eddy hivyo suggestively?
Vibaya.
Because
What have you been giving him?
because he'll start
What has this guy been giving you?
because he'll start crying. Anyway, now that you're done with this traumatizing part of the gifts and everything, I'm not gonna lie, I really love this shot.
Atatoshea, unajua last time niliacha.
Babe, sio kwa hapo. Si tutazavaa wawili.
Lakini kama ni anyway.
So now that these guys have brought up how they met me, let's tell you a story. Let me tell you a story how I got to meet these two guys, right? So I'll start with Ndugu because I met Ndugu first. So I didn't know who Ndugu was, obviously.
Yeah.
No one knew.
Ndugu even didn't know who he was.
Ndugu even didn't know who he was. Yeah? He wasn't
Let me clarify on that. He means it when he says nobody knew who I was.
Yes.
Because the first time, I don't know whether he said atasema hivi, but the first time me and Brian talked, he sent me a photo of himself on my DM. It is still there, and it traumatizes me every other time. Nashindwa, how low had I gone?
I saw your name, Ndugu Abisai. I was like, this must be a chick. This is a pseudonym for a chick. Let me really see if he's a dude, he'll resist. You know, if it's a chick, he's not going to resist. Turned out it's a dude. I'm sorry, by the way. Delete that
You
thing.
should be.
Anyway, so I didn't know who Ndugu was. I knew Ndugu through a friend of ours. She's called Tatu. You guys know Tatu Reginalda? She's a very amazing writer, right? Yes. So Tatu and I and a few other writers were writing a book. It's called When a Stranger Called. So one of the guys that was supposed to write that book with bailed at the last minute. And we needed someone to replace that person. Tatu said, there's a homeless guy.
Kuna kijana.
He's really struggling with life.
Anajaribu.
I don't think he has any future. But maybe as part of CSR, we can try and bring him on board. I'm like, okay. What's his name? So he said, his name is Ndugu Abisai. Like, and yeah, that sounds like a very struggling person. If someone starts calling the same Ndugu, have you ever met someone who calls you Ndugu, who is doing well in life? Even your own brother, akianza kusema huyu ni ndugu yangu. No, they are struggling in life and you're also struggling in life. So he said there's a guy called Ndugu Abisai. He's trying, you know. He writes like, I don't know. It's terrible, but we can do something with what he's doing. So I said, okay, so let's add Ndugu to the group. So we had a WhatsApp group, a very chaotic WhatsApp group for writers with Akina Unia, by the way. She was there tormenting people. She was our editor, by the way. I'll tell you a story about Unia, about that book, but later, let me finish once with Ndugu. So she said, his name is Ndugu Abisai. So we add Ndugu to the group. And I go to check him out, obviously, on Facebook. I'm like, where is he writing? So Tatu said, he writes on Facebook. Because I'm okay, sawa. So I went and searched Ndugu Abisai. And I saw this guy. He was writing so much about tea. And I was like, hey, these are poor people's problems. You know, chai, every time, chai. Like, yo, is this man okay? So I told Tatu, are you sure this person will be alive long enough to witness this book coming out? You know, because he looks like he's struggling. Can you send him something? So we're supposed to contribute some money for the project. So I told them, this guy is struggling, I'll contribute on his behalf. He doesn't have to. I don't want to be accused of murder, you know. Tulimuitisha pesa akafaint, you know. So, but we're like, just to be polite, let's tell him this is the amount, and then he surprised us. He sent us the money. So we wrote
immediately. You're forgetting to say that.
Kidogo, like you were sending like 500 bob, 200 bob. I'm like, boss, are you really sure? Yeah, we are going to kumaliza hii pesa, you know? Actually, you were sending, sending 100 bob, it's free. So you were sending me 100 bob every morning. I'm like, boss, just accept who you are, and seek help. But anyway, we do the book. Eventually, it comes out like a year later. So all this time we are in the group, we're not really friends, even though the writers are in that group. We're not really friends. So we're not talking to each other, or other side chatting each other, nini pale, except when Yunya was giving us tough time. Yunya, huyu anafikiria ni nani? Uko kando. Yeah, so the book finally comes out a year later. This was in 2020, right?
2020.
We started the project in 2019, around August. But the book came out in 2020 September, if I'm not wrong.
September 1st.
September 1st. So the book came, but before the book came out, because I talked to Ndugu on phone at some point, he was having a few issues in his life. And when he called me to tell me I'm having a few issues, I'm like, boss, I knew. I had already suspected it. But I'm glad you're actually talking because, men usually don't talk. But I'm like, I'm happy you're talking. So what's going on? And so because of the issues he was going through, he was finding it difficult to balance between the writing, and dealing with the other stuff. So like, I'm not too sure whether I want to continue with the project. Maybe I'll just keep this one and then we'll do the next one. So this was my first time talking to him, on phone. So I was like, okay, sawa. But later, because Tatu, him and Tatu knew each other better, so he talked to Tatu, and Tatu said, nah, you can't leave the group. You have to do this thing. So Tatu again told me, so Ndugu is not leaving. We are going to finish this project together. Kasema sawa. So we do that project eventually, and before the book comes out, I think Ndugu lost his wife. And at that time, I didn't know. I didn't know. When he called me the first time to tell me he's going through a few issues, I didn't know what exactly was happening. But now, I later found out through Tatu that the wife is ailing. And then later, the wife, unfortunately, passed on. So, I had to call him, to console with him. I'm not very good at these things. So when I was calling, I didn't know what I was going to tell him.
Let me paraphrase it for you.
Yeah.
I was in Eldoret, I remember. Yeah. Nikki received Simon. It was a bit strange because Brian and I were not friends.
Yeah.
And then he tells me, man, ukikuja Nairobi, situkunywe chai. And I'm wondering, how is this consolation?
Because I was really not sure. What am I going to tell this person? I have never met him. We don't have any relationship. We don't talk privately. So like, what am I going to tell him? And because I saw him writing about chai, kila siku chai, I was like, surely, the only thing that can maybe help me feel a little bit better, maybe ni chai. So like, let me just put this offer out there. I really didn't think you'd take me up on the offer. Ulinishangaza ulinifuata na hiyo chai. I'm like, boss, this is just all of those things. You know how when you meet someone, we should do coffee. And then while you're sleeping, someone is calling you. Yo, hiyo kahawa. Like, which kahawa? Yo, you said we have kahawa. This is just something I say to be polite. But anyway. So we have that. It was a very short conversation, actually, like he says. And so we agree when he comes to Nairobi, eventually we'll get to meet. So the book now came out officially, I think a month later or so.
Yes.
Yeah, so the book officially came out. Ndugu was not living, he was living in Nakuru at that time. So that's why we hadn't even met during all this process. So when he came to Nairobi, I think I'm the one who looked for you.
It's the other way.
It's the other way. You're the one who looked for me. Yes. I was trying to be polite, but anyway. So we meet for the first time at my friend's office in Tao. And I remember when I first saw him, I think I told him, you look exactly like how Ndugu would look like. Shida zimekuchapa. Wewe, boss, how have you been surviving all this time, you know? But don't worry, I'm here now, you know. Don't worry, everything will be all right.
Can I say my first impression?
Yeah.
You know, nikakutana na Brian. I think that was a week after the book had been out.
Yes.
And so I had been accustomed to meeting people at very good places. You know, and then I'm not saying where we met is a bad place, but this guy insists that we meet at Komas house.
Yeah.
Second floor, I think room 204.
Yeah.
So mina shanga. I mean, hata kama ingekuwa date. This is the first time we are meeting.
Your room ilikuwa na lights are red.
But ilikuwa la couch.
Now that you are mentioning,
kula couch red.
Zilikuwa kama bluish, you know, very seductive.
Yeah.
Lighting. And then ndio nikaanza kukumbuka, this guy has sent me a photo of himself. Ameniandikia paragraph mzima kwa DM because then he didn't have my number. And then now he's inviting me to a very
shady place.
Ukipiga nduru hata
and then the door, hiyo mlango ilifungwa. I think ilikuwa imeshafika 4 time yao ya kufunga ofisi. So me and him are in there and another person is there, but ameketi mahali hawezi muona. Like hiyo meza ya reception, she's sunken
to make sure you don't leave.
So to make sure this guy accomplishes ile kitu alikuwa anataka. But by the grace of God,
he accomplished.
Sikuingia box. Yes.
Yeah, so we meet now for the first time, and the guy, I think, was signing books. And he keeps saying, you chai, by the way, I hope. I'm like, boss, relax. I now know how serious you take your tea. So you're going to get tea, right? After that, we go together with our other friend. We go now to, I take him, we go to 12 tea, I think. At
you took me to Jivanji.
Oh, I took you to Jivanji.
And it was raining. Yani, wasichana in Nairobi. What is it that you see in this guy?
No, but
ilikuwa 4:30. Ulimpeleka Jivanji.
Yeah.
To meet a person you had
Jivanji wapi? Sema wapi?
Nje ya Jivanji.
Kwa bank.
No.
I was going to give you money.
Kuna bank Jivanji.
Liwambia, the money I have cannot solve your problems, but I'm going to try and get some loan kwa bank. So we went to Jivanji. We had an errand there. Then we came back and then we went to Zava. We had tea. Officially, it was our first date. There was another person.
I paid for the tea. Wanaume tunaumia in Nairobi.
I said tukipatana tukunywe chai. I didn't say I'll pay for the tea, you know, because I was thinking, really, what can this guy afford? Siacha alipe chai pia confidence, you know. You feel ambia watu nilinunulia Mbanacho chai, you know, and it actually boosted his confidence because he went and wrote a very long post on Facebook. I was like, boss, relax. I'm still here. I'm not leaving. You know, it's normal, you know. So after that meeting, I think we started meeting almost every other day, and then it became like every day, and yeah, you know, the rest is history. But now one day he tells me, so I'm in Tao with a guy called Ashoya. Like, Ashoya who?
A guy. That's what you called me, a guy.
Yeah, he didn't even say a guy. He says some, you know, just meeting. He was like, what does this guy look like? Like, I'm here with Ashoya. He really wants to meet you.
No, that's what you say.
No.
So Ashoya, when you mentioned the name, this is my story. I'm telling my version. So Ashoya, apparently Ashoya had sent me a friend request on Facebook.
Oh.
Na imekaa for like 1 year. I'm looking at this friend request. There's a photo of a cartoonish photo with a name like Eddy Ashoya. I'm like, who the hell is this person? You know? So I'm like, this thing actually pending. So eventually when I had the name again, I'm like, sure. Okay. I went and accepted that friend request. Yeah, I accepted
CSR.
the request as CSR. You know, I was like, this is obvious. I'm now helping Ndugu. Now there's another one. Who even looks worse than Ndugu. Like, what's happening to these people? You know?
Ndugu amekuja na ndugu yake.
Ndugu amekuja na ndugu yake. You know, I'm like, this other person. So Eddy, but the first time I talked to Eddy, I think he had bought a copy of now the book that came out, When Our Students Are Called. And we're trying to plan how it will be delivered to him. Eventually he got the book. And then baadaye now the meeting, the first time we met again at Zava. So that day I went to Tao, and Ndugu told me, when I met Ndugu, he said I was here with a shoya. Wameenda sijui wapi, but they'll be back. I say, okay, sawa. But I'd talked to Eddy a few times before that, you know, just about a few things about writing and stuff. So like, okay, sawa, we'll just chill here and wait. So a few hours later, Eddy comes with his friends. So there was Eddy, there was Ken. Ken is the guy huko kwa the light skin amesimama huko mlango huko. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Ken, can you come? People see you.
He's the third lady now.
Ken was not that light. He was not that light when I met him, by the way. Shida ilikuwa imemnyorosha. He was darker than Eddy, you know. So that is the guy. That is Ken, you know. So he came with Ken, with our other friend. She's called Rispa. She's not here today.
They were not my friends.
They were not your friends.
Ni watu wa mkono.
Oh, watu wa mkono. Yeah, that's true. So Eddy came and we met now for the first time. Obviously, when I saw him, I thought Ndugu has problems. I was like, this guy, sijui tutaanzia wapi. I even called Ndugu kando nikamwambia, enyewe, you know how people always tell you, if you're going through something, there's someone going through worse things than you. And it sounds like a joke, you know.
In Eddy's defense, Eddy had a genuine leather Hugo Boss bag. Like, that
which alikuwa ameibia mtu.
Hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza niliona.
Kuna mtu analilia hiyo bag somewhere mpaka saa hizi. They keep waking up, aki mtu alinibia hiyo bag.
That is the first thing
So let me tell you how Eddy was dressed. Because I still remember.
Yeah.
With this, you see this hair? I've been writing on our socials lately how you're taking him to the salon, and people think it's a joke. It is not. You know, you see how it looks better. Sawa. So this hair
alikuwa na dreadlocks tatu hiyo.
Zilikuwa tatu at that time.
Mnaweza zima hii mic.
So alikuwa na dreadlocks tatu. Sorry? Alikuwa na tatu. He was wearing pants. I think it's his thing. He doesn't wear pants nafika kwa ankles. They have to hang somewhere. But now these pants look like they had been around for like 100 or so years, you know. Like these pants were basically now changing from being pants to shorts. Generational, you know. It was so old. It was jeans. Ilikuwa ni jeans. But ilikuwa kama kaunda suit, you know. Then it's short and it is a bit tattered, you know. He wanted to call it fashion, but we all know, you know. And then he had a jacket. Hey. Have you ever met anyone with a jacket without elbows? Huko. Like literally.
Like your jacket ilikuwa tu na collar na cuffs peke yake.
Na cuffs peke yake. So I'm looking at him. I'm saying, Jesus Christ.
Mademu wangu tu mmenyamaza tu. While your leader is being attacked.
You know that moment unaambia Jesus, I'm never going to complain again about my life. Look at this guy.
If you're not taking the wheel, I'll take it myself. But now the funny thing is, the guy looks so bubbly, like he's happy. I'm like, boss, why are you happy? You're suffering, you know. He has time to crack jokes. I'm like, boss, don't do that, you know. Don't do that. Preserve the energy and uko nayo kidogo. No one knows when you're going to eat next. So waiter, hey, give this person whatever it is that he wants and just keep feeding him until aanze kuonekana kama mtu. So we eat. This is the funny part. So after we are done, me, I'm like, today I'm going to do my part in making the society a better place. So when the tab came, I saw Eddy ameishika. I was like, boss, you don't have to pretend. You know, you don't have to play this game of, oh, I'll pay, nini. But I was like, okay, let me just give him a second. Then he took his phone
and he actually paid for our tea. We had done so many things, So he paid
around 5,000.
around 5K. So the guy paid, and I told Ndugu, in rent. Hii ni rent ya Kawangware.
Nani anaishi Kawangware?
Hii ni rent ya Laja Kilimani. He lives in Laja Kilimani. Like, hii ni rent. So what you're going to do, we'll just by mistake send him money, just to cover up so that he can go and pay his rent.
Even
for fair, So, but that was the first time now I met Eddy, and now we started meeting again the way I used to meet Ndugu. So it was became Mimi and Ndugu.
He forced himself into a relationship.
He did, yeah. And he was Eddy by this is a very needy person.
Hey,
he wake up in the morning.
Unasema needy. This guy has called me at 6 to ask me, uko town? Who is in town at 6 a.m. in the morning?
He wakes up, sends you messages about, oh, bro, I love you. I'm like, I don't think we have to go there. I know you have problems. I'm going to help you to the best of my ability. You don't even have to say anything else,
It doesn't have to involve love.
Yes, but anyway, so that's how we eventually, how I met them. That's my version. They'll try and give their own, which I suspect they'll say it's a lie. But my first impression when I was talking to Ndugu the first time, I thought he's a guy who has his things together, which was not a surprise because he didn't have many things, so just things together. If you have,
at least they were together.
The 2 or 3 things they were together. And when I met him, he was the kind of person I actually thought he is, which is actually a nice person, to be serious. He's a gentleman, and between of the 3 of us, I think he is the gentleman. Yeye ndio mtu wa mama.
Ama wamama ni watu wangu.
Wamama ni watu wake. Yeah, and yes, and a very good writer. So together we started hanging out, and eventually we started the podcast. Eddy, because Eddy used to call me mostly about writing stuff before we met nini pale. And obviously, apart from this guy looks like mtu wa shida mingi. He also looked like a very brilliant person. So I was like, at least there's a way out for this person, This one, tukimshikilia mkono vizuri, tukimsaidia tu hapa.
He will go far.
He will go far,
Utaenda mbali, bro.
Utaenda mbali. And he is going far, actually, because he's doing amazing stuff with writing. He's now writing Man Talk for Saturday Nation, which is a big deal, right? Bwana tumpigie makofi. Yes, so yeah, my impression was he's a very intelligent guy. When he met me, he'll tell you guys, I'm sure he had his own agenda, but to you, Eddy Ashoya.
Thank you. I'm sorry you had paid so much money to listen to all that nonsense. So I'll keep my stories short because mapema ndio best. Short ndio best. I think, nianze na wewe Ndugu. Because we met at a traumatic time. So yetu ni trauma bonding. Kuna watu wa toxic. Naona Patrona amefika?
Bado.
Thank God. Naenda kuchoma.
Unajua, let me help you. You first called me on WhatsApp. Hey, nikashindwa wasanii Nairobi. Wanalipwa na exposure. So he calls me on WhatsApp. I think it was early afternoon. And then sikushika. I call him back on kawaida call, and then ananiambia I want to interview you. So I didn't quite get the gist of why he wanted to interview me. He wanted to interview me because I had been on because Zulu's masterclass, and he was a facilitator. So baadaye kidogo ndio bado akanipigia na WhatsApp, which I find not okay for a man to call me via WhatsApp, especially.
Was it a video call? I suspect. Decline.
Video, but he really wanted to
do a video call. He does this thing where he calls you via normal, the WhatsApp normal. Then you can answer, he wants to switch. Like, boss.
Akuoneshe pan. You know, I have never met a pettier man than Eddy Ashioya. Eddy akinunua pan. He calls me to tell me that, bro, ingia WhatsApp. Hey,
but hiyo pan iliweza.
In his defense,
hiyo pan ijaweza ama.
Akona pan nzuri sana.
So, Kai, if you want to make me breakfast and kona pan.
Yes.
Mayai. Yeah, breakfast. Lakini mademu wa Nairobi wanakula. Anyway, wacha tusingilie. Also, you are done.
Yes.
I can say my story because you guys want to say my story. Anyway, so yeah, I think that time we were going through a lot, and for me, I'd left my previous employment, or rather, I'd quit my job. Do not quit your job. Madam anakuambianga, babe, I'll be there with you through thick and thin. Hata ikazi
follow your dreams.
And you know,
hii job hata ni wewe inategemea.
Exactly, like your place bila wewe. Like, see, your boss has just called you right now. Nani wamepigia? Si wamepigia? Kwa nini? You are very important. So ikaingia kwa
kichwa. They can't survive without you.
Yeah, they can't, by the way. And you know, like how.
And actually tell your boss you need boundaries, you know.
Exactly.
He's calling you kiwa home
on a weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm there. So I think I'd gotten bored at work. It was like, kwani, I have to work. And, you know, we were both working, me and her that time. Nimesema sana. Nimeona ma smiles imeenda chini. It was a long time ago, guys. 2020.
Yeah.
So anyway. So I sent my boss, I remember it was 2:43 p.m. when I sent my resignation email, and he called me back immediately. Then I showed her, ndio huyo anapiga.
Ona.
Mweke loudspeaker. Ashioya is Indian. You do the Indian accents better. So he was telling me.
Ashioya.
Yeah.
Sisi nilikuwa nangoja wewe resign kazi. Sisi nashukuru wewe resign. Pana una ofisi yetu tena.
Taka.
Anyway, that's not what he said. He actually asked me to come back, but I had already made up my mind.
Shia naambia security tarafu wewe ya kidogo. Kula pesa ya kampuni wewe Shia.
Naweza sema story yangu sasa. Umbwa. Anyway, so I leave the job, and then you know, when you leave at that time, kwa wale when you quit kazi, you've been unemployed all your life, right? So you can't really understand. You can't
relate.
Relate.
Money all my life.
Yeah, it doesn't show. But anyway, that's not the. So I'm there, and you know, when you quit, you're given a severance package. So nikapatiwa golden handshake, ile wimbo ya Jamnazi.
Yes.
Marafiki wangu wapewe kitu. Napewe kitu. Na nimekutaja sana ni kama
there's a connection.
Ni kama
no, but she's
unaweza toshea kwa hii. Anyway, so unitaki wanawake. Anyway, so I leave my job and I'm given this, you know, golden handshake. And I'm like, I have a lot of money. Nilikuwa na stay larger Kilimani at that time.
I need to move to smaller Kilimani.
Yeah, so I was like, what do I do with all this amount of money? And I remember my girlfriend at that time, she was like, we need big things in this house. You're a big man. You're a bazoo. So nikaenda nikasema, yes. Najua mwanamke kuchota. You're like, yeah, like unapanda matatu lakini you feel like, wait, turn left. Togo kwa matatu. So I go to Housewives Paradise, naangalia fridge, sema, do you have anything bigger? Like, this is big, but something bigger. So they showed me this nice fridge. I think it was what? Some feel good amount. Ulisema unaweza deliver leo. It was around 4 p.m. Boss, nitaongeza pesa. Najua ni mtu wa ingo. So I buy that big fridge.
Eddy, at what point did you meet us?
Relax. This is my story.
Hii story vile inaenda sioni mali.
He just wants you to know that he has a fridge, a bigger
all.
fridge.
But I do have a, lakini your fridge nimeshindwa kujaza. 2 years fridge jaija. Anyway, wacha basi ni fast forward because you really think I have good things to say about you. So when I bought the fridge, nika realize, pesa imeanza kusha kwa account because I swiped and I was like, oh shit, we've made a mistake. So and then they don't tell you that fridge is one thing, but maintaining the fridge is the problem.
Yes.
Nikaenda nikeka kwa units, tokens. Kwa mezoea kununua ya so. Mnacheka nini?
Ya so ilikuwa
units are so sita 6.45.
Yes.
So ilikuwa inanipeleka like
1 month.
Juu hata kuoga uogi.
Alikuwa lasha lights kwa bafu anaangalia. Afa lazima anaingia sasa kuoga.
Kwa noga na steamroller.
Na simu unachajia Java.
Bas. Hata sikuwa na laptop. Wow, nimetoka far. Ni God. Anyway, so this time, nikaenda nikaeka fridge. Kwanza unajua like when you buy a new stuff as a man, you just unataka kuadmire, unapigia tu wase unaambia, "Wewe Brian uko?
Kuja.
Ulisema fridge yako?" Anyway, so I went to Carrefour, bought a few sodas, nikajaza kwa fridge because lazima like so and then I plugged it on the socket. Units sasa hiyo nilikuwa nimebuy sita, nikaambiwa hii kunywangi sana, hii unaona energy star rating 3 star. Keka kona 6.45. Kasema let me go to the shop mama mboga, niwe manyanya, kitunguu, kuja njazilie
vegetables.
Kurudi nasikia like how I'm like my neighbor mtu tu hawezi tu lipa tu stima. But when I enter my house naona unit imebaki moja. I'm like hii serikali itatumaliza. I'm like, so I buy another one. I sleep that night. Ilikuwa now around 7 units. The next morning I wake up, it's still 2 units. But anyway, fast forward, my money now is almost over and we are doing this masterclass with Biko. And then I see this guy. He sends me your story email.
Sema.
Uogopi? So this guy sends an email. Biko, you are my hero. I will do anything to meet you. Sim najua vile new simp.
I love you.
It's been my dream to meet you. Even my mother said that if I meet you, ataniachia shamba. Biko, just tell me what is it you want me to do and I will do it. Unataka retweets. So I'm like, nani? I sit there, ndugu@gmail.com. So I show Biko and then we start gossiping. You see, the people you are attracting.
What kind of, we need to change careers.
Like, what can we do at least as part of our CSR, as a project, those things we're talking about. Like, we also give back
to the society.
It's not just that we are making money. Like, we send the elevator back down.
Yes.
So I shoot him back an email and I said, hi, on behalf of Biko, we can offer you a scholarship. You come to the class for free. He replies, oh my God, you replied. 2 minutes later, I'll be there. What should I bring you? Like,
do you love flowers?
Simps. What kind of flowers do you like? Wanaume in Nairobi. Simps, wanakuambia kwa Twitter.
What Eddy is not saying is that one, when I sent that email, nilikuwa nimeiweka kwa ile the official email ya Biko Zulu. And then he responded with his Gmail, whatever, email. I didn't know at that time, Eddy Ashioya and Biko Zulu were working together. But now I'm wondering. So niko kwa thread na Eddy Ashioya, Biko Zulu, and I'm wondering, who is this
person?
Other?
Yeah. Kume ni mtu wa mkono.
I was about to curse. Who is this other person that is interceding our communication? And alikuwa tu hapo akini serenade. And akaniambia,
hi Ndugu, we really
Ndugu,
love to have you.
We would love to have
the
you.
Masterclass is nothing without you.
In fact, we've been wanting
to invite
extend
you.
Our invite to you. And then akaniambia hapo chini, please send me your number. And I'm wondering, bro, haifanyiki like haiongo hivyo. It doesn't haiendi haraka hivyo. At least tuipeleke na process. But I think a day or two later nikampatia namba yangu.
Dress pale ilikuwa imezidi.
Now back to the real story. Commercial break. Kama ulikuwa unataka kuingia maji umekunywa saa hiyo. Anyway, so the class starts, and then when doing introductions, then I see a guy wearing a cape at Java. And I'm like, this is a serious class. Like, I apologize. Who is this?
Yeah. Start telling the other clients, we are so sorry.
We are so like, this is quality control. He's our diversity student. Yes. So as we introduce ourselves, then he says, my name is Ndugu, and then he says, so you need to say something interesting about you. And then I think at that time I did not know you'd lost your wife at that time. But then when he said it in class, I was shaken. Oh my God. So kumbe, I've actually done really good.
Yeah.
I didn't know this guy was going through shit.
You're actually helping.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon? Acha nisichome. Unajua when you have a postmortem of this, no pun intended, you have a postmortem of our class of kwani amjui jokes. Amjui jokes. Relationships, then all your relationships are jokes.
Now.
By the time nishautia. Aya.
Wacha niwalete back to perspective. In when I gave Eddy my number, the first call he did, aliniambia, by the way, bro, pole sana. Hata mimi nimepitia the same thing. Nakuuliza, you lost your wife?
She lost me.
Akaniambia, I was not married. So nikauliza, stories zetu ni same aje? Akaniambia, nimepitia the same thing.
Hata mimi nimeachwa.
Because niliwachwa. Nikamwambia, Buddha, kuachwa si the same. Don't fight it. Usifight kwa group ya watu wamewachwa.
Unachoma. Umechoma. Nilikuwa nataka kuskip your part. Anyway. So I call Ndugu baadaye, and he tells me his story of his wife. And you know, at that time, wasichana wa Nairobi, kai nyinyi mbwa. Anyway, so at that time I was really going through a heartbreak, and it was really severe, because unajua, I had invested a lot in this relationship, like my fridge. Thank you. Who is that cool person? So like I'd invested a lot of time in this relationship, and then, you know, when a relationship ends, you're there alone, and you're wondering, Kwani, I'm not enough. Yeah. Like, easy muscles. Okay. Like,
what muscles?
Easy.
Hey.
Uya meziona. So I tell Ndugu, like, can we talk about it? Because I wanted a different perspective. At that time, unajua, when you're living in a studio apartment in larger Kilimani, things can get really confined in your room.
Literally. So you're there, you're wondering, oh my God, mimi sitaipenda msichana tena, wacha nikue. Wacha nijaribu.
Pana, lakini. Sasa unasema wacha jaribu, haya natembea na flowers hapa. Brian, wacha mchezo. So we talk with Ndugu, and then Ndugu tells me about his wife's passing. And you know, when someone tells you about death, personally, it's traumatizing, especially. And I think that's why we bonded a lot with Ndugu, because we are there, two grown men. We are crying. Bro, manze. So him is crying. His wife has left me. I'm crying. Nimeachwa. We're just there, like, karibu tuende home pamoja. Ni God wase. Ni God.
When you're saying home,
imagine.
Check you. When you're saying home, unamaanisha tungeenda home kwako.
Pamoja. Si lazima ikuwe kwangu.
Awangware.
Kwangware ni kuzuri. Kwa nyumba za tumbaku. So that's how we met Ndugu, and I think from that time, because I think I became closer to him before I met his other partner, and Brian, because he was advising me, telling me, you know, you're still a young man. And I'm like, Yeah, we are still young men as well. Unajua watu kudharau wakiona ati shida zako ni mingi kuliko, anakuambia hata mimi nimepitia hii maneno. Wasichana ni wengi, utawapata wengine watakuja show. So tulia tu. But at that time we don't see it a lot happening, and I think we became closer that time. And for that reason, I got you a special gift. And I mean, kona pesa. Time to ndo sina nyinyi wote. So cause I know Ndugu likes ulisema unavanga size
ya nini
huko chini.
Why would you want to
Me, I'm expressive. Unajua, like this guy Onyango, when he came and akasema all of us need to go for therapy. Ye mwenyewe anakaa tu anahitaji. Anyway, so I bought Ndugu a gift for Christmas. Asanteni sana kwa pesa zenu. Like, oh my God, you guys. See, you are amazing. Na mjakuja na wanaume wenu. Aki.
kuja na
Yeah? So, Ndugu, this is for you. I hope itakutosha. It's really nice.
Mnasema
Ebu waonyeshe wewe ndio uko na muscles, mimi nitachoma. That is for Ndugu.
Hey.
Unaweza machisha na ile bra. Takutoa vizuri sana.
So.
Usilie.
No, I'm just wondering. Hey, so. Asante.
So fast forward, we're at Java, and I still remember we were sitting on one of those two benches, and then some guy with beards that are not connecting walks in. Wearing.
If you think they're not connecting now,
you should have seen him
2020. Ilikuwa hizo ndevu za kujaribu. Kuna moja hapa, ingine hapa.
And that is the time Nigerians walikuwa nasumbua sana.
And then bado walikuwa nasema no shave November.
No shave November.
Hata ukishave utashave nini?
So I didn't know his name was Brian at that time. Of course, we had been talking because I really wanted the book, but I was asking the book from him so that Unia can sign. Because at that time, I had a crush on Unia.
Yeah.
Sasa Unia. Elisha. Nikubaya. Ni text. So I wanted Unia to sign the book because I had good things about her. But then I was only finding Brian available. So I was like, who is this guy? Like, he's always available. What? Unashaona wanaume tu, like, you call him, hata simu ijalia, labda hata una flash. Hey, bro. Like,
which is actually true with Brian.
Yeah.
Hawezi mpigia, like, ring mara mbili.
Haiwezi.
I know, because I'm a responsible man.
No, you're jobless.
Asante.
The reason why I answer it's because, like I said, these two have too many issues. So they could be dying at any minute, you know. Ndugu nipigia simu. Nasikia njaa natetemeka. Mimi acha kutetemeka.
Kama
Tisha chakula tutalipa. Usikufe.
Anyway, so when you meet with Brian, he sits across me, looking me straight in the eye. And you know, guys, I'm shy. So I'm like, this guy, why are you looking me in the eye? So we start talking, and then he tells me about his writing journey. And Brian can talk. So you guys know Brian can talk. And I'm like, who is the woman in the relationship? If you've been with Brian, tafadhali, look for a real man. So Brian is there talking. I'm trying to ask Ndugu questions. So Ndugu, how is it so far, your healing journey? So let me tell you about my healing journey. And I'm like, Brian has a story about everything. Anyway, jobless man.
And he always has a villager that can relate to whatever it is that you're talking about.
Exactly.
You know, mnaweza kwa mnaongea hata anything, like the economy. And then he introduces, you know, uko Cheptais. Kuna jamaa anaitwa Opita. And then he'll go for the next 45 minutes telling us the connection between his village mate and the economy.
Yeah. So ka ulikuwa unataka kwenda Lu tena, that was your commercial break. So as I'm talking to Brian, when I knew I liked the guy is when alipatia him. Not like, oh my God.
I've always suspected.
Where? Apana, I'm not coming out today. So I've been going through a lot.
Yeah, you have.
So this time something was going through me then.
You guys thought I was joking.
And you know, let me interject. It's funny.
Come on, takwenda Lu.
It's funny because I think 1 year later, ndio Eddy alituambia hiyo time vile maisha ilikuwa imemchapa. Like the jobs he was taking. Hey.
But you remember how every day we're looking for him to buy him food.
There was that.
We just knew. We're like, we don't need to tell him, you know. So every time we'll be like,
Eddy, Nairobi, kama tuko.
Uko busy. You know, he's never busy. I'm rather he's busy starving. So like, uko busy. And like, kuja, and we would always meet.
But that December he was so available.
Yeah.
Hadi Christmas alikuwa anauliza.
Hadi Christmas. Ati, boss. Tuko. Wewe, hauna kwenye bwana.
Anyway, back to the real story. So that time, as you rightly put it, wacha nisilia sana. I think things were tough. Nakumbuka, because I'd spent all my money on
units.
Yeah.
On tokens.
Wait, tafadhali. Let not the fridge be the only thing you take away. Now, by the if you're available on Sunday, I'm doing a showcasing of the fridge. Yeah. It's a museum now. Yeah, mnaweza come.
Yeah.
Juta come. Wait. Focus. So I'm there, and so at this time, because unajua nilikuwa nimepromisiwa na ma jobs, unaambiwanga you can get ready even if you leave your job, we'll give you something else. I'd lined up a few clients, wote walinitoroka, ni kama vile mlikuwa mnaambiwa mwandike kitabu and then wakazima simu.
Yes.
So all my prospects
andika vitabu.
Ziko hapo.
I know a few people here walinambia andika vitabu tutanunua. Andika vitabu tutanunua. Mimi kwanza nitakuwa wa kwanza. Sasa nikaandika kitabu nikasikia congratulations. Wewe utafika mbali. Nilingoja hizo order hadi nikachoka. Hizo vitabu ziko hapo by the way. Au mtoke hapo before mnunue. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm there, and then nilikuwa nimebakisha 10,000 in my account before I go and and die, yes, like officially. So that is when we met with unacheka nini? That is when we met with Brian, and Brian was telling me, bro, you can write books. I can take you under my wing. And I'm like,
there's greatness within you.
There's, I believe in you. I've seen the way you write, and there's something there. Imagine mtu anakuambia there's something there. You're an upcoming writer.
I'll connect you to my editor.
I'll connect you with my editors, and then we can do something. But pia nipatia life advice, and I think for that reason I also got you something. I wish I could get you any one of these ladies, but
you already have.
I've already gotten them myself.
Yeah, you of course, but there's always room. Unajua, in my community, which is why I was hoping La Patrona Jafika, we don't count women and children, so I could be single.
We are recording this, so she'll listen.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But anyway, so Brian likes white. It kind of reminds him of his past when he was innocent, before Shetani amwingilie. It's a Chinese color. It's rare material. Sijui kama ushampima lakini kwa sababu unauliza wewe unaonaje itamtoshea? Unajua sijui mnakuanga wapi. Nimeona mnaangaliana the whole show. Anyway, so this is unaweza muscle man. Si tumekulipa. So that is for Brian. Yeah. So tafadhali.
Thank you.
If Brian is sleeping with you, or if you're sleeping with Brian, hii shati weke kwako. Si kijana anakuja podcast ananuka sweat. So I think that is how ametoka banana. Kupeana so thank you so much. Nilisema wacho kama sasa unanikasirikia. Anyway, so that's how I met these guys, and it's been a good journey. I started the podcast and I told them muko na talent. Na muko na time. I don't have time. That's why you can see some Fridays I'm missing because I have to do things. And these guys, they're always available. I'm like... Anyway, so these are my two lovely people, and I appreciate.
Bro.
Tangu niache hiyo jina siwezi sema tena.
Usitumie lovely tena. Tafadhali.
By the way, sikuachwa tuliachana. Like things did just... Msiende huko nje ati huyu kijana kumbe mwandishi unaachwa.
Nairobi writer.
Tuliachana. Nairobi writer. So I'm really grateful for the 2 years that we've spent together. As a unit, not together as men. Umbwa nyinyi. Ndugu.
Yeah, I know you can now see who is the man in this relationship. You know, this one and this one. They have to make sure I am happy at all times. So thank you for the gift. Like I said, I am a gift to you. Receive it. And so I think in a nutshell, that's how we met. And that's how we became friends. And a few months later, I think, when we met, I think it was in Feb or something. But a few months later, maybe in June, that's when we started.
It was December.
It was in December 2020, yeah.
And then we...
yeah. So that's how we started now with the podcast. We started recording it at Java, I remember, using our phones. We were just...
Ngoja kwanza, hapo kwa recording. There is a story I have, and I think Eddy can corroborate. The first time we recorded this thing, there is a recording stuff that Eddy came with. And this guy had a very long mic.
Suspicious one.
So we settled down at Java on a Saturday evening. Tunataka kurecord. And alikuwa ametuambia kuna equipment ya kurecord podcasts. So the guy was in a black jacket. Akatoa a very long thing. Nikashindwa, what type of kink is this guy into? Because it was like ilikuwa microphone mrefu hivi.
It looked like a dildo. Just tell
actually
because
I was avoiding that
because we were meeting a certain chick.
Oh.
So she was so suspicious, all that time. When I put it on the table, I could see her relief, So like, what did you think it is? Then Ndugu said, I thought it was a dildo. Then the chick, me too. I'm like, what do you people think I'm doing with a dildo? Anyway.
And then tuliban your mic for forever. Tukamwambia siwahi kuja nayo tena because we have a podcast to run.
Yes.
And it can't be run on
dildos.
Nyinyi mmesema.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, that was our first session. I will hand it back to our MC. As sisi tuna...
Kabla upatie MC, kuna wase wajacheka na pesa yao inaisha. So. Kuna msi yako na joke, unaweza peana.
Hakuna refund.
Juu, sasa ametumia half the money na hajacheka.
Itabidi tu acheke.
Yes. So yeah, we'll just take a small break and then we'll be back with Eddy.
Guys, we can do better. Come on. Nice. So that was the first set, guys. We're going to go on a short break and then Lumumba will come back and serenade us out.
Tozala sensen, tozala from hypocrisy tomboy, ingratitude tomboy, nani yako kikosunga ekolo. Soki mobutu tena ni mosusu mobutu seko tozala sense tozala from hypocrisy tomboy ingratitude tomboy nani yako kikosunga ekolo soki mobutu tena ni mosusu mobutu seko Yabisoko binda, mobutu sese. Yabisoko binda, mobutu sese, mobutu. Zambe atinda komite central. Boke bana bandoki, etumba na bandoki esilite. Tango boke reteni. ya bisoko